going to San Francisco, where a longtime club has built not one, but 4 layouts under one roof.
Mention San Francisco, and you'll usually get a visual image of the Golden Gate Bridge, cable cars, and other sights of the city by the bay. One little-known spot for visits is the Golden Gate Model Railroad Museum. Located on the east side of San Francisco Bay in Richmond, the museum's host to one of the oldest modeling clubs in the nation.
The East Bay Model Engineer Society started in 1933 as a general modeling club. It was located in a small room above a hobby shop in Oakland. They moved to a few other locations and finally settled into a warehouse in Emeryville, where they were located for about 50 years. The organization has about 75 members that are divided up between the 3 scales that we model.
The current display is actually 4 layouts. The smallest is a large N-gauge layout.
Our N-scale layout is about 1,100 square feet in area. We model from about the 1950s to the present. Our modelers like to model a bunch of different eras. Our best areas on the layout are Tehachapi Loop, which is a well-known rail fanning spot in Southern California where trains cross over themselves on the way up the Tehachapi grade. We also model Donner Pass. We have a track going through the summit with snow sheds and tunnels. And the third one would be Elvis Y, where trains go in 3 directions from the Bay Area and the Sierras and the Central Valley of California.
Next stop is the HO gauge layout. Again representing railroading in the Golden State, the division names say it all. There's something here for everyone.
Well, our HO layout basically models the 3 main railroads that ran from the Bay Area east. That's the Western Pacific, the Southern Pacific, and the Santa Fe. We have a number of divisions. We have a canyon division that ran through Niles Canyon back east. We have the Cal P that ran from the old Oakland Mole along the bay through Martinez, Pinole, Fairfield up to Sacramento. We have our mountain division that basically models the railroad over the Sierras from Roseville up to Truckee, snow sheds and other details that we've tried to faithfully model. We also have a narrow gauge division, and that models a lumber line in the Sierras. And finally, a traction line that modeled the old trolley routes that ran from Oakland over the Bay Bridge into San Francisco.
An O-scale layout is the largest of the museum's layouts.
The concept for this O-scale layout, our standard gauge, which we call the Santa Fe Western, was evolved from the prior layout at Hollick Avenue, where they had large curves and long straights, and so the developers of this layout wanted to follow through with that concept. We wanted to have long-running trains, rolling curves, lots of mountains. 3 focus areas would be the Pantella Mine area, the ON3 narrow gauge area that's representative of California mining or Western mining overall. The Arch Bridge area on the standard gauge layout it covers a deep gorge, very expansive area, rocky terrain, high mountains on either side. And then further down is our lake area, where we have a bridge going across the lake into the back part of the layout. Most of our trackage on the main railroad is all hand laid on a sub-base of splined material. It's 1/2 inch by 1 inch splines, 9 of them that have been laminated together. And the reason we did that was to make nice transitions in between the curves and the tangent parts of the track.
There is one additional layout to view. In October 2008, the layout of popular television personality and train collector Tom Snyder was donated to the museum.
When Tom passed away, his wife spent about a year looking for a location for the layout because Tom did not want to see the layout taken apart and sold piece by piece. Some of the highlights of Tom's layout are typical of the Lionel pre-war structures, such as the Hell's Gate Bridge, the passenger station and power station. On the other end of the layout are some unique features such as a slot car, 2 slot car tracks, and a trolley track. The museum is open on Sunday afternoons from noon to 5 from April through the end of the year. When people visit the museum, I'd like them to come away with a sense of how much work that we've put into this effort and how much fun we've had doing it.
The next time you find yourself in San Francisco, take a side trip to Richmond to see a recreation of California railroading.